Chat, it's coming home. I need this, okay? I'm trying a different layout, okay? Primarily because let's just say I have something ready. For this pull-a-thon. So I'm just gonna stay in this screen for a little bit until this thing connects. I saw, by the way, that shit was just breaking. Like, I think this game like hit like 300,000 concurrent players, which I had to check was straight up even more than Dawn's Walpurgis, which was really surprising, honestly. Considering that wasn't considering that this event is just only an Enkefelin event. Although in some part that's not really surprising given that it is Dawn Office. It's like it's hard to not be hyped about Dawn Office. Especially considering that like we've needed to shake up on Burn for a while. And Yisong is there too, I guess. So let me pull up the music that I think can... I mean, what should I pull up? Do we just do Red Mist? You know what? I'm gonna do revision on like ensemble. We're just gonna do phase 1. All right. Let's just turn the music off. And then we're gonna go to this screen. I probably could fill it with more if I had the time. So let's just we're just gonna get this started soon. Okay? It's time. I have almost 300 pulls worth. So, without further ado, here's the first one. Okay, this looks like a nothing burger. No. That's a shame. Alright, next up. Oh! Oh! Alright. Come on. Come on. Come home. Yeah! That's 1 out of 3, chat. Alright, come on. Yisong Gregor, come on. This is the bare minimum. That's not good. What's up, Playhang? Why do sheep know bears better than bears know sheep? I am not sure. Why is that? It's because... Oh my god, it's Bina! Okay. Because sheep can bear... Oh. God damn it. Ah, shit. It's okay. We got much more here. What is that, Hong Lu? Yeah. Oh! Damn! Two of them? Come on. No dupes. Yes! 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 Now we just need Yi-Song next. No dupe. No dupe. No dupe. No dupe. Come on. Chat. Prayers. 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 No! Think that's a pretty nice joke, don't you think? Hi Kava, we are currently 60 polls in, and now we're just missing Yi-Song. We already got the announcer. But like at this point, I can pretty much just like hard pity, if need be. But I hope that we don't need to go there, because I promised my staff team that if we got yeah. We're so back. Oh my god. We got that in how many pulls? In 80 pulls. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna treat Lei Heng's joke as the reason why we got all this. Honestly, you know what? I need to send a ping onto my staff server right now that we got everything we wanted. But first off, let's just equip this. And then for burn, it's time to say goodbye to LCE and to Fire Fist. Fire Fist, you have served me so well. I won't ever forget you. I think we can now even sucker up for Uptie 4 for Unbrilliant Glory, but we might not even have to do that, honestly. It's probably better to even do this instead, but oh my gosh. Honestly, really proud. I'm really proud of that. We're just gonna... Oh, we need to pull up the egos here. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna... And then we send this over. So and I'm happy. I'm really happy that I got Gregor too, because it looks like he's really good for Unbrilliant Glory. Because I've never really had a proper time to actually like try it. Oh my gosh. Honestly, you know what? We're just gonna stop the music there. I've already ordered enough. I am so proud. Oh my gosh. Well, now all that's left is just to uptie them. What are the keywords that we got? The blank left to be cancelled during those days, the luxury of blank. Breaking was beyond anything. Imagine I come bearing a... Now let's see how long it takes you to click on that 830. Oh. But are you sure? We can... We can square up. It's no problem. It's no joke. I don't think we have enough thread, though, to uptie all of them. So we're gonna need to sacrifice a little bit here. You know, I think isn't gonna get anything soon. Do it like that. Although I have to check is the. I want to see. Okay, Phallus is next. Because I want to do it at least like chronologically if I can.
말을 길게 끌 것 없겠군요. 그레고르 싱클레어 바로 시작하자.
Dude, she's so good. Finally. I'm a little sad that I have to let go of Regret Faust, but you know, it is what it is. And determined that this case merits preservation as a record. Following is the case record pertaining to today's request. I also need to take a sip. My god. Case name, 1000 Needles. Serial code, DN-0113. Grade, Urban Legend. The case is now developed to a point where assigning codes beginning with an A- to the victims no longer serves any practical purpose. Catastrophic propagation by a series of random chain reactions would be an appropriate description for the nature of this case. As such, it would be both inefficient and impossible to assign individual serial codes to every victim scattered throughout the street. The circumstances surrounding the case align with both the information gathered from Brewers and the case report compiled by Representative Gregor of the Dawn Office. Now briefly reporting the state of the case scene. Sections of the building have been liquefied. And beneath the damaged structure, traces in the form of human remains can be observed. I always found it really freaky about the by reading up on the like the 1000 Needles, like the codex. Many of the victims' remains are no more than distal extremities of the human body. By contrast, it's rare to find torsos and internal organs that maintain even a moderate resemblance to their original forms. Given this fact, it is reasonable to infer that the prevailing cause of death in this case is something of an explosive nature. The remaining bits and pieces of human flesh also indicate that the said explosion was accompanied by countless shrapnel tearing the bodies inside out. Yeah, then the shrapnel, yeah. Faust determines that all these observations indeed point to a single property: omnidirectional fragmentation of this pitch-black matter from within the body. A presentation identical to that of prior cases. The matter is abnormally dense compared to its mass. Its material strength is also unnaturally high. Merely touching the surface of the wall permits matter to drill through with negligible resistance. Immediately after making contact, the matter begins to melt an area several times larger than the point of contact. It is difficult to believe that such material could have been produced by the human body. It is certain that this matter is identical to the one currently under Faust's investigation as an object of interest, designated as needles. Yes, that is correct. Symbols of an irregular, atypical pattern, which Faust had repeatedly received on-site verification requests for, are present on the material. Now cross-referencing this observation against Faust's information. Gazelle shop access? Yeah, I guess so. No matching information found. In that case, the minority hypothesis, which alleges that the symbol points to a malicious advertisement sent by a certain upstart workshop, may be dismissed as false. Now moving on to the next proposed hypothesis: yesterday's promise and demonic magic. As the presently reported cases yielded any variable fact that why am I fucking up this pronunciation? That substantiates the said hypothesis. Understood. Faust recalls having sort of piece of information regarding the body of a corporate employee found in the backstreets. a victim of so-called gut harvesting. That was the, that was in the opening scene, right? Corpse also bore a much similar symbol, because I always remember the, of, like, the initial rats as a description of, like, the body being just completely scrambled, if I remember correctly. Gut harvesting refers to the criminal act of the backstreet syndicates by which corpses are stripped of anything considered to have monetary value. Fausts who limit themselves to observing that source of information may have been unsuitable participants in the discussion of this particular subject. Magic. It strains the realm of believability. But if such an incomprehensible phenomenon does indeed exist, perhaps this would be one of the ways by which it is manifested. Balloons popping would be the closest approximation. The radius of the damage is far too great for such a seemingly weightless impact force. Dawn off is upscale? Yeah, I saw that apparently one of the statuses that she can give, to like Sinclair, just does not put him below 45 SP, provided that you're just using the base skills, and not like doing the not doing like the egos and stuff. It's actually insane. Is the entity designated as yesterday's promise truly employ a power that may be termed as magic? Perhaps access to some more pieces of information would help Faust thread together the truth of the matter. Yes, of course. Faust is aware that access to any information beyond this point is prohibited. However, it is an established fact that the entity's ability concerns contracts. In which case, working as a fixer should bring Faust closer to an answer. Understood. Then the discussion regarding this record will conclude here. Faust will need to head to the office and submit a report. Sinclair said he had something you wish to say to Faust once this was over. However, it appears Faust will not be able to hear it. And it seems probable that this will be Faust's final record. Current location: the library, as per popular denomination. Not with, Gregor? Correct. It's the same place that has recently been reclassified as an urban plague. Faust confirms that writing one's name on the invitation alone is sufficient to transport the invitee to this place. This record is best shared with the other Fausts in advance. Ah. Access rights received. Faust cannot help but notice that access is granted to Faust. It is already too late. Would that mean... No. Please disregard that. I look, he's still waiting for lobotomy ego yin and yang? What lobotomy ego am I still waiting for right now? Because I know I had one in mind. But it escapes me right now. If I'm thinking right now... I mean, obviously, excluding the A-lips, because I don't think we'll be getting A-lips until, like, I don't know. Let's just ballpark, like, Kanto 12 or 13, because I know Dante's will happen. Like, there's no way it's not gonna happen. There's probably one other one that I'm thinking of. Maybe the Little Red Riding Hood, duo? I imagine that that they'll be coming up, at some point. I mean, we already have Bob? Yeah, it's just more so, because I can't imagine them bringing up, like, A-lifts right now. Not until the, let's just say the incidents. that happens in, like, I think, like, June. would that mean... No. Please disregard that. Concentrating on the battle at hand would be the more rational choice. Yes. The opponents seem determined to make Faust their initial target. It is unlikely that Faust will be able to fend off the entirety of their focused offense. They are healing themselves merely by grabbing pebbles in their hand. Faust is literally getting, like, bested by my favorite floor. Netzak's floor was so good, man. And Faust hears the incomprehensible ringing of a cry, song, or perhaps just an echo. The mind feels as though it were shaking and staggering just by hearing the sound. Is this an attack launched by utilizing the properties of abnormalities? If so, what could this place possibly be? Though I find this development disappointing, I should think of this as a fortunate outcome that has availed me the opportunity to leave an account, at the very least. How are you going to get this account? How are you going to even give this account? At least outside the Fausts. And me. Because even should this Faust fail here, the grand objective of Faust must be preserved at all costs. Faust only has one wish, to know all of the city. And ending record. Alright, ending record. Bye-bye! It was nice knowing you. Yeah, I read the kit earlier for this thing, and it's actually insane. I think Hexnail will at least be nice because of Burn. Because I'll be honest, man, this thing is a pile of dog shit. No, this is literally anything outside of Blind Obsession. I think like Ishmael's like season egos were so doo-doo. what reason is there to even touch like 9-2? Like at least there's a reason to touch like Blind Obsession here because of this passive. But my god, what an awful ego, and what an awful abnormality too. With that though, we can tie this thing to 4. Now let's get you ready. Hello, Burn team player. I do really like Burn. I mean, I pretty much have everyone like as up to date as I can. I think I initially used to be a Tremor player, although given that this was like the last like single status ID for Tremor, it's looking a bit dicey, let's just say. I hope they try out a bit more of what's the face of Tremor Hemorrhage, but the only issue with Tremor Hemorrhage is that it loses bleed count, which is already kinda hard to manage in my opinion. But yeah, I really like Burn, especially for the IDs that have it. And then now, it's time for you.
그럼 그렇게나 많은 죽음을 머금고 편하게 마무리 지을 수 있을 거라고 생각했나? 이번엔 정말
With every breath I took, the acrid air around me burned my throat. Cries of pain, sorrow, and fear rang out from every direction, and other indescribable horrors overwhelmed my senses as the thick blanket of smoke squeezed the oxygen out of the air. The smoke permeated everything, even in fields of battle packed full with the spray of blood and scattering shrapnel, flashing blades and bullets whizzing past comrades and enemies both. The miasma found the cracks to suffuse. GG for Fire Fist? Maybe? No, I think it's safe to say that Fire Fist is, it's retired. the damage bonuses it had really kept it going. But I think it's safe to say it's he can rest now, unless if we're doing a facade, in which case lol. We used to call it stench the scent of humans. I am more interested to see stuff about the smoke war though, because we're about to get the not fun part of Gregor's notion that like the smoke war is over is it's about to come to an end soon. Ugh, here comes my daily fix. Let me set it on your table, master. It's hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Listen, kid. There's really no need to baby me like that. Years have passed since that smoke left its final mark on my memory. And now I'm leading a small fixer office where I nurture and train pupils of my own. I wonder what my younger self would think if he saw me as I am now. Did he ever have imagined this kind of life? What is... I see Pablo. Oh, she's nibbling on the... on, like, the pastry there. That's cute. The kind of prosaic, peaceful life where I get to sit in a cool, air-conditioned room and sip on a pleasantly warm cup of sangwa cha my pupil brewed. He has a point, Sinclair. Perhaps it would be best for your career prospects if you redirected the focus of your endeavors onto tasks that more befit the responsibilities of a fixer, rather than that of a tea brewer. Brewing sangwa cha can't possibly be so important a task that you would spend time every morning to carefully analyze your superior's mood and choose which toppings would suit his palate. Well, still, I think I'm pretty good at it, so... Could you even imagine the kind of sedate life where I get to enjoy a hearty chuckle every now and then? Watching the shenanigans unfold as my pupils passive-aggressively throw jabs at one another about what are, ultimately, frivolities. No. How could it? After all, how could he lose himself daydreaming when even a split second of distraction would mean certain death? Oh yeah! Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, you just got back from the contract, didn't you? Urban Legend class request? Yes, I've completed the request regarding the 1,000 needles. Wow, you're impressive. Solving an Urban Legend class request all on your own? The target posed an increasingly substantial threat as it mounted a more aggressive resistance toward the end. But, I had a question regarding the contract, Herr Gregor. For me? What is it? As the name 1,000 Needles would suggest, I was presented with ample opportunities to collect and examine some black needles that seemed. Bearing those symbols, I presume. Correct. Symbols with the yellow glow, to be precise. Its patterns were analyzed next to symbols used by various workshops that mark their output, but no exact match was identified. Imitating Stigma's product branding's all the rage these days. There's been an uptick in workshops marking their products, leaving their symbols in the aftermath of battle. Got me worried for a sec. Maybe they become so money-grubbing that they started sponsoring all kinds of maniacs out there. But with this, that's one load off my mind. though it isn't as bad as it used to be. The city is losing what warmth it had by the hour. The proverbial winter starting to set in its denizens lately. I like to think that I've seen my fair share of the worst the city had to offer. But day after day, the increasingly bizarre and out there incidents find their way to shake and shock me anew. Strong arm, easily simple. There wasn't any warmth at all. Its temperature was rapidly dropping to what could be described as nothing else but frigid. Still, the optimist in me says it's not all bad, that we, as a collective, haven't quite reached the line we must cross. And I find solace in that. Then again, you never know. Maybe there are folks out there. People already too far gone and have crossed the line and then some, but as long as they didn't make it my business by invading this cozy little place I've got with my students, I don't think I want to concern myself with those things too much. But sponsorships? I didn't know workshops did that. You did not. Odd. Oh. 1 second, I guess. BRB. I just got a husky drop. No guarantee that there won't be any noises now. What? All right, I'll open the door. Fine. You'll let her do her thing. Can't blame Sinclair for not knowing. It's not like I have a habit of harping on about old times. I posit the argument that any sentence that begins with "back in my day" that you are so fond of counts towards the conventional definition of harping on about old times. In that case, could you tell us a bit about your past? I know you're a very prestigious fixer, Master, but I never had the opportunity to hear about what exactly you've done to earn that reputation. Huh. Yeah, maybe the stories of those days are better shared in a lighthearted conversation. Just something to be mentioned in passing. Enough. Time has passed now. Anyway. I've been using Stigma workshop weapons throughout my career, from the day I first started working in this business. Now, if you ask whether they were the best workshop weapons among all the ones I've browsed, try to find a weapon that would keep me company through thick and thin, no. They weren't exactly all that. Why did you decide to go with the Stigma workshop weapon, Master? Well, I could say there was the matter of my thin, hungry wallet. But more importantly, big name workshops out there don't let anybody walk right in just because they came knocking on their doors. Gotta keep your clientele more distinguished, if you know what I mean. In other words, more well-known workshops weren't all that eager to take a commission from some no-name grade 9 fixer, even if he had the coin for it, which he didn't. Fortunately for me, Sigma Workshop was a relatively unknown back in the day, with a more niche audience, which meant that they had no qualms in letting a greenhorn like me purchase a decently high-quality weapon. Anyway, while the partnership was coincidental, it ended up being a win-win. I kept racking up successful contracts, and the Stigma Workshop reaped the subsequent renown and a new swath of customers. As a token of gratitude, they were generous enough to offer personalized upgrades to my weapon. Huh. So that's why all of our weapons are... Catch on quick, kid. All thanks to my connections with the Sigma Workshops allowed a young chickling like yourself to wield one of the quality weapons. It seems that our office rarely tires of self-aggrandizing behavior, but one cannot deny the veracity of that claim. They missed the chance to give Sinclair the funniest die animation. Oh god, which one are you referring to? The one where he just escapes all the time? Anywho, they really saved my bacon more than a few times in the smoke war. The smoke war? It's the same with any war, I'm sure, but for boots on the ground foot soldiers... Streg, you know? Why is it escape my mind right now? I feel like I'm supposed to know what you're talking about right now, but sorry, I think I'm just stupid right now. It's the same with any war, I'm sure. But for boots on the ground foot soldiers. Iris, come on. Here. But for boots on the ground foot soldiers, survival was the only thing that mattered. The most surefire way to guarantee survival would have been to stay as far away as I could from the war, but that wasn't an option for nest-born fixers like myself. Some battlefields were so dire that even association fixers had to struggle through fight after fight with broken, malfunctioning weapons and worn-down outfits. But because I was sponsored by Stigma Workshop, every time my sword needed maintenance, they provided it free of charge, and even threw in a series of upgrades. Back then, too. I was a part of the detachment. Perhaps a rather too grand a name for what really was a hastily assembled group of fixers with even the remotest preparations against the damage of fire and heat in the war. We were a bunch of ragtag soldiers at best, but I won't deny that there was an air of unwarranted confidence among us, given that all we needed to do was burn up a pair of wings. But that day, on that hill, why are you falling back here? Push the line forward. Infestation zone cleared. Regroup and rendezvous with the section director and... Calling all recruited office fixers. We can do this together. Our right flame wall needs reinforcement. Monstrosity of evasive abilities bordering on precognition and offensive capabilities that, with a single hit, all but guarantee it's in death. That was one of the decisive weapons of G-Corp. Limbus Association was selected specifically to handle it. I was probably stronger than each individual loot fixer, but... Oh... One set of wings reduced to ashes. Just one more push and... Don't let your guard down, team. Stay alert. Huh. Looks like we might actually have a chance. There's really no point in measuring individual merit when it comes to loot fixers. the moment an all-out battle began. It came together with combined fluidity not unlike that of a single organism, a dragon, charging through the enemy forces under the section director's command. It wasn't long before their flames dominated the entire battlefield. For a moment, the situation seemed so favorable that I began to hope that we might defeat the foe without needing reinforcements. And with how things looked, the enemy was definitely on its back foot. We'd be able to seize victory with just a little more effort. Burn fan only, and there's only one guy here. Shut up! Shut up! they're all in different time zones, okay? Enemy altitude's down, but velocity remains constant. Keep the heat chicken goated. I'm a little sad that he got this just like cycled out so fast because I really liked him for burn. Good for you, Iris. Lay down. Erratic movements haven't slowed at all either, Director. Goddamn bug. Its airborne vertical maneuverability won't be diminished much, even if we somehow manage to burn all its wings. I see. The point of this operation was to prevent high-speed airborne escape. But whatever possible scenario we could come up with based on common sense, not apply to a decisive weapon of a wing. This is the famous Flame of Lu. How about we cook the chicken up? Hell yeah. Reminds me, I should eat something pretty soon. Slower than I imagined. A raging, seemingly impenetrable wall of fire flickered as it danced, inadvertently revealing the most minuscule of openings. The monster's eyes caught sight of two Lu fixers. In the blink of an eye, they were gone. Well, most of the fixers could even comprehend what had happened. I ran desperately to block the beginnings of a growing rupture in the formation. Hey, it's right above you. Swing up. You swung, but with a curious delay. Was it your favorite? You fuck! Director, don't let that monster get to you. Calm yourself and breathe. Ah! Where's this up? Right now. Lay down, okay? Once a crack begins to split open, it slowly grows into a rift. Without moving as one, an organic fluid motion, the flames will scatter into mere cinders, no longer merged as a flame dragon. The monster turned the tide. It can cover behind the fire and the heat haze that obscured not only its vision, but ours too. Fixers of mediocre ability, scattered across the battlefield, served only as hostages or meat shields for the monstrosity. Or we could even complete our initial goal of burning its wings. Poor bastards. What the hell have you created? Director! The Lord of Flies descended upon the dragon's head, crushed it to a pulp. Our forces were minutes away from complete annihilation. I had to do something. So I ran up to the front of the line and rallied the troops. Regroup here. To me. You know who I am. We even had a quick meet and greet. Remember? All of you are now under my command. Focus entirely on providing me support. I swear I'll burn that fucking vermin's remaining wings to ash. You're not our section director. We work with him best. I doubt you can fill his boots. Maybe. But you? Me? We're not exactly flush with options, are we? No. Guess not. Fine. We'll march with you. Lead us. The world was on fire, and we were trapped in a flaming cage. The sky above was nothing but pitch-black darkness. Smoke from fires and smoke that smelled of humans mingled, creating a horrible, crimson eye of a noxious storm I can hardly describe in any fitting words. But I was the leader on the hill now. So, I imitated the dragons to the best of my abilities. I may not have been the guy to fill the section director's boots, and I was only flying by the seat of my pants. But by having a small army of fixers following my flow and releasing bursts of flame at just the right moments, my firepower grew twice as powerful. Firepower? I alone blazed in the glow of the falling sun amidst the burning field of the infestation zone. With the blue fixes behind me, I felt like I could measure up pretty well against the even legendary familiar Cross himself. Oh. But the botanies kept piling and piling. When's Valentina gonna like get into this? Past a certain level, simple numerics like how many augmentations you have or what grade your gear is don't decide the outcome. This is where the other, previously neglected factors come into play. Their training routine, the kinds of effort they put into them, the matchup between fighters, the battlefield, the circumstances that might or might not give you an edge. We lasted pretty long for a sunset, didn't we? Kept on fighting even this pitch black night. Eventually, I was the only one standing against that monstrosity of a foe. The Lord of Flies did not appear even remotely winded, as though he were drawing from an infinite pool of energy. The situation seemed rather hopeless, but I was young at the time. I still had that youthful streak of rebelliousness burning somewhere within me then. As I wasn't ready to sit down and let death take me. So I gathered whatever strength I had left in me. All the muscle memory, all the training I've done up to that moment, and held it all in my hand. Hey, Fly Bud. I don't know if you've been keeping track of me, if you're keeping track of the time, but the sun will be peeking over the horizon soon. Just look at how the faintest blue is starting to encroach into the black night. Heralding the crack of dawn. The heated blade draws a beautiful pattern as it cleaves through space before me under the distant sky. But the reach of my blade is too short to strike the monster. It evades to the side with ease, and regurgitates a stream of corrosive fluid. And it lands right on my sword arm, melting it, eating through flesh and bone. You know what they say, that it's darkest before dawn. But it's pretty bright out here now, isn't it? I can feel its fluid spreading, eating away at my torso, from shoulder to hip. Ugh. But at the same time, so does the space my purest resolve into the sword has went through. Its sundered fabric melting away as though by flame. And the fly's wings that were touching the very tip of my blades are fall apart, its sliced segments melting away. Now that, I didn't see coming. But what will you do now? Seems you are now out of options. I didn't quite imagine it happening like this, but at least they made it in time for the sunrise. Say hello to my reinforcement. And your death. Yep! It's you! It's you! Hello, Valentina. Weakling. Though the battle was fierce, all we managed to do at the end of the day was cut off its means of escape. And the reinforcement command decided to send out what was but a single combatant. A single combatant to face an insurmountable foe who was still armed with unpredictable movements and a seemingly bottomless well of stamina. I'd be lying if I said the realization didn't hit me with a wave of disappointment and a profound sense of futility. Hey, don't you know who I am? But nobody who's fought even a single skirmish in this battlefront wouldn't recognize the woman who just marched up to the battlefield, with the cigar smoke billowing in the wind. He's the same person who survived the brutal gauntlet of duel after duel that mercilessly cut down a number of promising futures. Namely, that of the fixer, that of the Great One Fixer was a popular candidate for the title of a color fixer. The rising right hand of a Sotocapo, and others whose prospects were just as golden. He emerged victorious, one battle after another. Another monster of another nature. Of course I do. I've seen the way you fight. After leaving everything in our hands, I returned to our encampment in the back lines and had my injuries treated. And surrounded by the roaring cheers of spectators, I got to watch a recording of our battle against the Lord of Flies. Footage slowed down by several dozen times. The only way the video could have captured the way the two combatants sped and zoomed around each other. In that footage, it seemed as though the reinforcement managed to behead the Lord of Flies, killing it instantly before it realized it was dying. Gosh, so washed. As it turns out, if you kill the Lord of Flies before it even registers its own death, it won't have a chance to spawn the Maggot Prince. It was a shame that so much of the work we did to prepare the counter the Maggot Prince went to waste, but thanks to the Sigma Workshop symbol seared on the back of the Lord of Flies, and with the witness reports from Blue Fixers who managed to survive the massacre, they recognized me as a major contributor to the success of that operation. Gregor. Herr Gregor. Sorry. Must have gotten lost reminiscing. Anyways. Apparently, burning the monster's wings ended up being one hell of a promotion for the Sigma Workshop. You fellas better learn to appreciate me, because I'm the only reason they're still offering weapons sponsorships to our office even in my semi-retirement. Not to mention how the connections I made that got us the position of the Blue Association's affiliate office. Whoa. You really are amazing, Master. Amazing? Come on. I'm just a washed-up fixer with a broken body that never fully healed. Damages caused by the Lord of Flies is extremely corrosive fluid would have been difficult to recover from. Even with the K-Corp ampule of fairly high purity, it is likely that his nerves fail to fully regenerate. Yeah, guess so. No, all thanks to that one ampule I got for outstanding valor that I'm still alive and kicking after all this time. Remember, those ampules were even rarer back in my day. Oh my god. He did it again. Wow. I don't really the lady persuade the decisive weapon isn't the use at all nowadays, though. Haven't heard much about her myself in a long while. She sure didn't seem the type to get herself killed unceremoniously, too. Oh, she's probably enjoying herself in a comfy seat, lording over peons like us. Oh, man. Anyways, how's that for harping on about old times? Had enough yet? I throw a lighthearted jab as I pick up the piece of paper. It's been on my desk for a while today. Related to our next contract. Is that the object that's had the fixer industry abuzz lately? Got that right. This is what our next contract would be about. They said my Bael alum's death is connected to this contract too. Oh no. I'm sorry for your loss, Master. I can't imagine what you're going through. My heart's unscathed, kid. I was never fond of that fella. The question is, have you heard anything about this object, Sinclair? Something they call the Library's Invitation. Damn. That was a fun read. And now we can get to upside this. With that, I think I need to also change some of the EOs here. Unless if I'm mistaken, because I feel like there's something off. Although I don't think we need Christmas Nightmare, right? I don't think... What's the passage for that again? I mean, that's not bad, but that's generic. So I can't imagine what I need to change here. Although this is pretty chill. Oh, yeah, no, the passive does not upgrade, but... That's pretty cool. Okay. Well, we'll probably do a showcase here with someone who's been who let's just say has been asking for it. And then we'll probably call it there, because I do have some... Well, not only because I have some stuff that needs to be doing, but also, Mirror Dungeon is quite timely. And I'd rather do that with the video in the background, so... Let's do... the showcase here. If I fail this, I fail. Oh, that's awkward. That makes this the whole lot much more awkward. Yes. Ah, damn it. Yeah, the dailies didn't reset either. Okay. Well... I mean, who the fuck would I want in Oglu's place here? Because... Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably just call it here instead, and I'll just kill him with my extreme run, because he does give us like the for the capo gift, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to like try this out. I do want to swap out. There it is. Let's give a bit of a donation to people on my friends list. Breaker. How can you believe it? It's time. I also need to upgrade your level. I almost forgot about that. So 60, 60, 60. Here we go. Okay. I'm just gonna call it there then. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I promise streams will be back soon. I just need to get a bit of bearings on stuff. With some of the stuff we're working on. So I hope to see y'all next time. And yeah, peace.